this point, we have Q&A, and I think Alan, are you going to be with the? Okay, Alan's going to have the microphone. So now the way we're going to do this, because Alan's very energetic guy, we're going to start with a question on the left side, and then the next question go on the right. So Alan has to run back and forth. So let me ask a question first of David, and you'll have to share the mics. So be kind to each other and pass the mics. David just joined the panel here. He's with Cohesive, a division of Bentley Systems. OQ is in the oil and gas. Are you in other industries other than just oil and gas?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got digital twins in the water space. The work in the UK with both High Speed 2 and National Highways is something that the infrastructure bill could certainly lift and shift into North America and put some more sustainable transportation into this country. I would suggest that pretty much every vertical is actively pursuing the digital twin. What I will suggest, however, is I think OQ is a really interesting case study because they're going about the process a little bit differently. Every now and then, every 3 or 5 years, there's a special company that comes along that realizes that in the hare and the tortoise race, the tortoise always wins the race. It's because they have taken the steps to digitalize their experience, to make that the data that's going to drive the digital twin, right? So a digital twin should allow you to, should be an immersive experience. We saw that, right? But it's being able to consume your experience immersively is the differentiator to getting the decisions and the value from a digital twin. So if we learned anything from what those gentlemen were talking about is they've put those cornerstone, those foundation blocks in place, and they will accelerate past the hares to get a real digital twin that will solve their problems and provide the level of value that we to be honestly, it's a bit of a scatter plot, but those are the organizations that tend to be in the 1% club. Excellent, thank you.
Jose, again, you joined the panel.
Yeah.
If you could talk a little bit about perhaps what other industries your software is used in other than just oil and gas.
Yeah, and I think you covered a little bit in our discrete side of the business. But in process industries, we have oil and gas, of course, chemicals, mining. We cover pharma with not only engineering solutions, we have simulation, we have operational intelligence. So really the whole spectrum of the digital twins for many industries.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you. So Alan's already got somebody. Go ahead, please.
Hi, I'm Eugene Spiropoulos with Yokogawa, a technology evangelist for different types of systems. This question is for Matt with Unity. It's a two-part question, sorry. And the first is a little bit of a cheeky one. What is the advantages of Unity for this sort of application compared to something like Unreal Engine?
Yeah, good question. Unity is not the only horse in the race. There's Unreal Engine from Epic. There's also Omniverse from NVIDIA. They're all awesome platforms. How does Unity differ, or what's the advantage? Well, without preaching too much, Unity kind of excels in more lightweight applications, so mobile phones, AR headsets, where horsepower, if you will, is sort of a limiting factor. Unity tends to optimize things a lot better. And secondly, Unity has an enormous platform. It's like 8 million Unity developers exist out there in the world. So there's a huge community. You can literally Google, how do I connect SAP to Unity? And there's probably someone's figured it out. And a huge asset store as well. And it's, generally speaking, quite easy to learn and get started with. I mean, it gets complicated pretty quick, but I would probably say that's where Unity excels mostly, in that the community is much more ubiquitous. And if the end user application is an iPad or a tablet, which inevitably it ends up being, I think Unity excels a little bit there.
Thanks. And I think you started to answer the second part of the question, which is how easy it is to interface, because the value of the digital twin is the information that you interface into the platform. And I was going to ask how easy it is to interface information within our industrial paradigms,
Right.
with our types of protocols.
Sure. Well, it's a sliding scale of complexity. I'm not going to lie. I can super oversimplify and be like, it's easy. But the reality is, it's very bespoke to the needs of the customer and the platform that you're trying to integrate with. The vision of Unity is that it's like a visual, user layer, the user interaction layer that lives on top of all of these data platforms. Unity is not trying to be the heavy engineering, mathematical solution behind the scenes. If anything, it's a platform that you feed data into, and it simplifies making the experience that you would use to interpret that information.
All right. Sure, you can, of course.
I'm not, so you talked about the ecosystem and some of the other partners. Just so you know how important this market is, NetVidya has a market cap of I think it's something like $580 billion. They're the 8th most valuable company in the world right now. If you don't think that they're not going to use this use a digital twin as their mechanism to expand your business, right, and to realize the benefits of the metaverse moving forward, right? I mean, you really need to look at how our kids today consume information. Those companies are just going to take off. I mean,
I'll add a quick comment that just as a trend, I've noticed that people in their 30s and under take to digital twins very readily. And I had a conversation with one of the particular advocates, and it dawned on me that that person started talking about the games they used to play when they were a kid. And it dawned on me that, that 30 and in their 30s, 40 and under or so, they're used to a 3D environment because they played games so much when they were younger. And that is the next generation of user interface for that cohort, is the 3D model, navigating to the asset that you're interested in, double-clicking on it and get the information you're interested in, as an example. Where else do we have a question? Where's Alan? Oh, there he is. We must have a question over on the left side. Any other questions? All right, going once. Usually at this point I threaten, I say, well, it's Q&A period. If you don't ask any questions, then I start asking questions of the audience, but I'll let that go. Going once, going twice? All right, we'll close out the session now. Thank you very much. Thank you, the speaker.